everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today we are rolling all of the March excitement into one video. We are doing the March planner stack. We're going to be doing a February wrap up, and then we're going to move right into the March goals. So this one may be a long one. I will timestamp along the way so you can find what you're looking for. We are going to just start and talk about how February went, and we'll wrap it up just a little bit. It was just a hot mess express. I feel like I made it really, really good until mid-February, and then we went on the dance competition trip to Dallas, and it was only like 2.5 days we were gone, but it just totally took the motivation out of me completely. I ended up needing a lot more recovery time than I expected to need from this trip. So it was just a lot to deal with, and I came back, my motivation, my plans went out the window, and I really had to reassess what I wanted to do because I just didn't feel like I needed 15 planners, and I really wanted to just get back to basics. So I took a couple of weeks where I took it pretty easy as far as what I was doing as far as productivity and things like that. And now I'm ready to get back into it, and I'm going back to my original plan. So at the start of the year, I was super gung-ho and excited to get everything done off my list, like check everything off the to-do list, make the routines really awesome from the beginning. And I just totally decided this month for March, I'm totally going back to the basics. I'm just really going to concentrate on the AM waking up and AM working out, and anything else in the AM routine is going to be extra. I'm also going to stick with no nighttime routine whatsoever. I'm just going to try to set myself up for success this month, not put too many things on my plate, because I just totally hit a wall at the middle of the month, and I was like, this is just too much. It's too much all at once, too much change all at once. My body, my motivation, my dedication, all of it fought back, and so I have to really reassess. And so I'm totally changing up my planner stack for this month. So my thought process for this is I will start with one thing this month and tack something on next month, and when that feels comfortable, I'll tack something on, and when that feels comfortable, I'll tack something else on until I build up a really nice solid routine. And that was my original plan in the beginning, but I just got really excited for the brand new year. You know, I just got the motivation, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna just do it all and just change everything, and it was just too much. So I'm really just dialing it back and starting from the ground up, and we'll make incremental, step-by-step, baby step type of progress, and that's where I'm starting now. So for one thing, I'm peeling back lots and lots of planner things in my stack. The main thing being in my stack is the Makselife flagship planner. I absolutely love this one, and I've thought about what weekly I want to use for a different month, and I just cannot peel myself away from this one yet. I just love it so much, and I feel like even when I use another weekly, I'm gonna still stick to the weekly actions pages, which are the goal pages in here, and the weekly reflection pages. I haven't done them the last couple of weeks, but I find that I really get a lot out of those weekly reflections when I'm really like in planner, in goal setting mode. This is the one to stick with. So I'm totally sticking with this one, but I'm changing up a lot of other things. So grab in here. Two of my other basic things that I'm going to be using are the daily planner, and I'm switching up what daily planner I'm using. I'm using the other layout of the Plum paper planner daily. This is a 2-column set, and I did end up walking through and reviewing this for you guys. I do have a new customer coupon for Plum paper planner if you're interested in that, but I am just switching to a different one. And again, I just keep my favorite pen, my Pentel Energel, and also a mild liner highlighter on here, and that way I can just highlight things off the list as I go. It is March 1st as of filming this, so I just have my stuff on my first day, and here is March 2nd. I don't write a whole lot in ahead of time on this one. I just plan out my basic like weekly spread that you guys see every week in the Plan With Me's. That goes in this Makselife. And then this is just the day-to-day nitty-gritty, and it's not always pretty. The daily just does not look pretty, and I just put everything on that. And then I'm going to be adding this one back in. I had started this one, I think, the beginning of February, and it is just a Kit Life daily planner. I'm not really using all of the sections. I'm just using this to keep track of my protein. I'm keeping track of my macros. I'm just tracking protein, and I'm trying to stay at a little deficit, but I'm really just trying to up my protein. That's mainly the whole point of this. So I'm just writing everything out. That's really the thing that I don't concentrate on, and then I will get like 50 grams of protein in an entire day, and that's just not enough if you're trying to body recomp. So I'm really trying to stick with trying to get my protein up a little bit more, and it really helps me out when I write it out and see. And I honestly like this better than having to track everything in a tracker. I just look up the protein for whatever it is I'm eating. A lot of the things I eat that are the same, or a lot of things have the protein already listed on them. So it was easy for me to just track those down really easily and write them down. And for this, I have a purple Pentel Energel. It's the same pen, just a purple barrel and a purple ink. So my ink Looks nice and purple on there. So that one sits out. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of things I'm getting rid of. I am totally ditching the power sheets this month. I don't know that I'm going to go back to this. I find that the tending list just totally gets filled out, overlooked, and then I don't think about it. I don't go back to it, and it's very much a duplication of what I put in the Makselife Weekly. So I'm going to just set this one aside for now. I will do a whole like in-depth review of this at some point. But my main takeaway from this one is the prep sheets in the front are totally invaluable. It was worth the cost for me to just have all those prep sheets. And when I'm going and planning out my month, like I already planned out my month, I go back to this yearly overview page. I have everything color-coded in my different little goals that I put in here, and I still use that. So the original 7 goals I put in here are still the goals I'm working towards. You know, it's the same thing. So they have pages in here, flipping to the actual like thing. So I color coded my 7 goals. Here you can put another goal here for 8 goals total. And then each goal has a 2-page spread. I'm throwing clips just so I can show you guys. But like it has a 2-page spread, and this is just like chicken scratch, messy writing. And it's like outlining where I want my AM routine to go by the end of this year. So I'm really referring to the prep sheets in this when I plan my monthly goal page in my Makselife. So I really find that the beginning of this planner is really helpful and really good, but I don't find that I need the monthly tending lists and things because I'm using the Makselife weekly pages, and that totally works better for my brain. I like the categories on that versus the monthly, weekly, and daily sections. And I thought for sure, like when I got this, when I first started using it, I thought for sure this was going to be the one. I really thought those tending list pages were going to work for me, but it just doesn't fit with my brain. I don't know how else to put it. I really like the categories in the Makselife versus the different like timed sections in this one. I find that I forget about this one. I write it, it's a duplication of the thing I already was using and enjoying. It's duplicated, and then I don't refer back to it. So totally setting this one aside from just like the pre-monthly planning section. I will definitely be pulling this one out every time I'm doing the monthly brainstorming session and looking at that yearly page, looking through the goal pages and writing out my goals for the month. So I find this one invaluable in that sense, but on the day-to-day, month-to-month basis, I'm just not referring to it as much. So that one is getting ditched for now. And then the other one that I am ditching is my little YouTube Frankenplanner thing that I made to keep track of my YouTube editorial stuff. I end up using iCal for my editorial calendar. I like that better than the actual like monthly spreads in here. So I'm just totally getting rid of this one for now. It can be used in some capacity at some point, but I ended up writing my video notes for this video in my new little notebook that I got. This is just a notebook that was sent to me from Erin Condren. It's one of their little notebooks, and I really just like it. I like the size of it. I like the gold coil on this one particularly. This is my first one with a gold coil from Erin Condren, and I really like it. It's very shiny and exciting, but I just really like the idea of just having open space and not having to worry about the monthly calendar. I did like that there were sections of just note paper every month, so I may end up using it at some point again, but for this month, I'm just putting all of my notes and thoughts and ideas and stuff in this one notebook. I had talked about using my Spaces notebook in conjunction with a regular just like brain dump type notebook, but this is going to take the place of everything except those dedicated lists in the Spaces notebook. I still have that one handy. I still use that for expense tracking and things, but this one's going to be all of the like chicken scratchy type of ideas and lists and notes and all that kind of stuff. That one's going to stay in the planner stack here. And then the ones I'm saying goodbye to are the little Plum Paper Planner Goals Planner. I did end up using this month and trying it out, and I will be reviewing this one in depth. I have lots to say, lots of thoughts about this one. And then I also will be getting rid of, not getting rid of, but like getting out of my stack. This one, this is the Daily Plum Paper Planner with the 3 columns, and this was a bigger one. This is a 7x9 size planner, and I find that I really like this layout, but I don't like the size. It's just too big for a daily, and I just didn't like that part of it. But I feel like with the 3 columns, it would have been too small for me to like it in the A5 size. So I ended up getting this one, and other than the size, this one was great. I love how organized it is, but it's the size for me. It's just too big. So these two I'm saying goodbye to. I will review these both in depth coming up soon. That's on my list for the monthly goals. So reviewing these two. And last but not least, I will be keeping my fitness planner. I really like this. This is a Floral Weekly planner. I'll show you a page there. It just has the weekly horizontal spread, and I really like this one for tracking my workouts. I ended up not using it very much the end of February, and then I went back, filled it out, and I was like, yes, I just love this. I love using it. I've been using it the last few days of my working out, and I really, really like keeping track of it in here. I like tracking my miles on the Peloton, and I just really, really all around just love having this one. I like it is a little bit fitness decorated and fitness inspiration. So I will be keeping this one in the lineup as well. And now I did end up changing the covers on my interchangeable things. So I showed you guys the notebook. I got the leopard print on the notebook, which I really, really like. I also have the leopard print on the A5 Daily, which I really, really like as well. So they are matchy-matchy, which is super cute. And then I put the trolls on the fitness planner because I just like the little rainbow happiness of it. So that one's gonna be sitting here on the desk. And generally speaking, this one's flipped open most of the time, so I don't tend to see this one. And also generally speaking, this one's flipped open, the daily. It's usually flipped open. So I won't get a chance to see them all that much. Just every once in a while I will flip them closed, like moving room to room. Sometimes I'll flip them closed, but this one stays open just to one page at a time. And then my workout fitness planner is just open for the weekly spread. So I don't really tend to see the covers all that much, except on my notebook. My pink leopard print will be there for this month, and I'm really, really excited about it. All right, so I cut a few things out. I cut out my AM planner, my PM planner, the sidekick journals, the editorial calendar, Plum paper planner goal setting, the power sheets, and this is what I'm left with, which still seems pretty bulky. There you go, it still seems pretty big. So I'm gonna walk through them really quick to show you guys really quick what they all are. These are all the ones that I'm keeping for this month, and they have specific things in mind. So goal setting, Makselife. Also, we've got the fitness planner, Erin Condren. And then I've got the Kit Live Daily. It's just gonna be macros, basically tracking protein. Then I have the Plum paper planner daily, and that is going to be just my daily to-do list and scratch paper and all that jazz. I also have a brain dump type of journal. It's going to be for brainstorming ideas, just getting lists off of my head. And this is just a notebook from Erin Condren. And then last but not least, for like dedicated lists, expense tracking, and that type of thing, I've got the Spaces notebook. So that is all of it. 2 of them are notebooks, and then there's 4 planners. So I don't think it's that bad because each one has a specific duty. Certain ones sit in certain places in the house and I can easily access them. Like most of the time, these 2 notebooks just sit in here in my little planner caddy, which I've shown to you guys before. I totally feel like I went back to bare bones quite a bit. I definitely don't need the macros tracker, but I find that that's the one where it's easier for me to just pen to paper it. It's easier for me to see just like written on the paper, sitting out, oh, I probably should eat a little bit more protein at my next meal, that kind of thing. So I'm really just trying to dabble with it and see how it goes. I'm really just ditching most things, like most things that I have on my habit tracking, most things in all of my routines, they're all just getting thrown out the window, and I'm starting with bare bones basic planning, and I will move on from there. I wanted to explain how February went, explain the stack, and now we're gonna jump to the other camera so that I can show you guys how my February goals went and then show you guys my new March goals. All right, I went ahead and marked off everything on my February goals tracker. We will dot the March goals because I haven't dotted mine yet. And I may add in something here and there. I was thinking about a couple of other things. So I have a little code system here. I ended up Xing off anything that I felt like I didn't do that great on. So it's not things that like totally didn't happen some of the time. I'll talk my way through a couple of them. And then whether or not they're X'd off or checked off, if I wanted to carry them over and continue them, like they're either things that still need to get done or things that are ongoing, I ended up putting a little arrow at the end of them or like underneath sometimes. That shows me that I wanted to put them on the next month, and basically all of those same things were copied over, maybe in a different way, which I'll show you when we get there. But I'm gonna talk through a little bit of this. I'm just gonna walk down and see like my most notable hits or misses. The one thing that totally fell apart was my AM routine. Once I got back from Dallas, totally just fell off of it. So I'm getting back to it, and that's why there's lots of X's and lots of arrows over. I didn't end up even trying to use the Focus app at all. And then the drawing challenge, I went a couple of days into it and I was like, this is not fun. Why am I doing this? And just threw it away. And I will not be going back to that one, at least for now. I don't know, I had this idea of doing these daily challenges and it totally just did not work out. And then for Project Life, I didn't end up working on past Project Life at all, but I've almost kept up with the current weeks. So that's really my main focus right now, is to try to keep up with current weeks and make 1 scrap video per week. So I'm going to stick with that. And I did end up sorting through all of the photos on my phone, which is really good. The videos worked out well. There are a few things in the family section that are going to be ongoing. I just moved them over, and we did not officially set up her chore chart. She turned 7 yesterday. So that is going to be something that we're gonna start this coming up week, which is exciting. And then over here, the working out started out pretty good. I didn't stick with the macros tracking, so I'm trying to get back with that this month. And then over here, physical environment is where I feel like we rocked it. We totally went through both girls' closets, the toy closet, all of the toys in the entire house, and purged a bunch of stuff, got rid of all of the baby toys except like 2 teeny tiny ones that I wanted to keep, not for the kids. They wanted to keep them for sentimental reasons, and they're cute and teeny tiny, so they're now up on my shelf in here. But like, we made great progress. I got basically Libby's whole new wardrobe, and then Stella, I got out the next size up for her. And yeah, that's been working great. So that was a big physical environment change. We got rid of tons and tons of little baby toys. Now that Stella's getting bigger, she's playing with much more preschool-y type toys versus like baby and toddler-y toys. So it's been nice, but I feel like we made good progress there. Aside from the workout room, which I had talked about in my plan with me, I don't know if you're going to see that plan with me before this video or after this video, but I will try to link to it down below if it's already posted. And so that's how February went. Lots and lots of X's because of just falling off. And here is what March is going to look like. It's a lot of the same type of things. We'll walk down these lists really, really quickly. I'm going to grab my correctly colored dot pens here and set them out. So we're going to just try to go down the list here. We've got yellow. So for personal, I threw in more fun stuff. I know fun and recreation has its own category, but I'm using this section strictly for scrapbooking. So I decided to put some more like fun type of stuff up in my personal section, and one of them is crocheting. I really, really enjoyed getting back to crocheting a lot this month. I've started and made really, really good progress on a couple of big projects, so I'm really, really happy with that. I'm going to keep going with that. I wrote it at the top of the list because it's important. Also, the cross-stitch tracker, I've got to keep up with that, and I really enjoyed that. The one thing I wanted to add on here also was the makeup challenge, which is the one I was forgetting about. I'm still working on the makeup challenge. I'll have an update for that coming up soon too. I've still been wearing makeup most days. I really enjoy makeup. So I wrote that one in. You got that one. Again, I want to try to work on the Focus app, learn how to use it, start incorporating it. And then these two are copied over, 5:30 wake ups and AM reading. And I was up at 5:30 this morning doing my workout, and then AM reading didn't happen yet. It's still a work in progress. And then over here, fun and recreation, I actually use pink for this one. I do have a focus for this one. I don't write the focus in for everything. Don't let lack of motivation derail. So I really, really wanted to stick with the 1 scrap session a week and 1 scrapbook video a week and keep up with my Project Life plan. So I've been really good about going through pictures and Project Life stuff and 1 scrap video. It says complete 1 past month. This is the one that's iffy. I don't know if I have it in me to go back. I'm like really trying to dig deep and see what's a priority right now, and I'm not sure that that one really is, but I wrote it on here to try to keep up with it. I also want to complete all of February. There are a couple of little gaps in my Project Lifing that I need to get done, and then get 2 to 3 videos ahead. That's the trying to keep up with more videos, and then 1 scrap video a week, and work on editing backlog. So I'd love to have 2 or 3 videos already pre-scheduled, ready to go, and then also get through all the editing backlog at some point. So that's just on there to make progress towards those goals. And then the next section is called Work and Learning. That is just this channel. It's all my Sami Sweet Life stuff. So I've got quite a list on this one, but it's mostly like things that are already on my list, like 3 videos a week. Not too bad. Filming, background, and lighting. I still need to work on this. I just didn't think about it at all this last month. It's something I'm going to have to think about. And then editing backlog, again, same thing as the other thing. I've got lots of videos to edit. I just have not done it yet. And then closet part 2. We finally finished the closet. I should have put that on like the February thing over here, like finish the closet, and it wasn't on there, but it was complete. I had to film a couple of last little clips for that and then sit down and talk about how it went. And then these are just videos. Plum Paper Planner Daily and Goals reviews. I do in-depth reviews of the planners I've been using, so I plan on doing those 2 this month. And then I also need to start working on my Q2 editorial calendar. That is something that's already in progress. I have some recurring videos that make planning out the month pretty easy. Here is purple. This is family and relationships. A lot of these are copied over that are just ongoing things. The chore chart needs to start. The social book we work on every week, and then the date nights we try to work on every week. It's been fun. One of the things I want to do is start having lunches with a couple of my girlfriends, so I'm going to try to set up like this ongoing, we try to go to lunch once a week or something, and just be able to connect and be without the kids. That's always really fun. And then I want to go on a double date with one of my friends, my husband seemed to really hit it off with her husband. So we're gonna try a double date this month. We already talked about setting that up. We have a tentative date for that. And so it's just on the goal to get it done. And then the dark blue up here is health and wellness. This is working out, fitness, macros, that type of thing. And I have focus, concentrate on AM fitness, really trying to combine that with the 5:30 wake up and an AM workout. So again, we're sticking with the 2-day arms challenge, macro tracking, and I combine this bike and hardcore on the floor because they're both pretty much set in stone, but I still want them to be on here because they are, you know, important goals, even though it's something that feels like I can check it off pretty well. And then I have a longer Saturday session. I just try to do a couple of classes or a longer class for that. And then prep my lunches. This is something new that I have tried to start incorporating in. I have been getting HelloFresh now for a couple of weeks, and I try to add in one extra meal, and I use that for my lunches. So when I'm cooking dinner one night, I will start cooking that, and then I'll divide it into 4, and then it's my 4 lunches for the next 4 days, which has worked out really nicely this week. This is the first week I tried it, but I want to always have some sort of prep lunch because a lot of times if I don't have that planned out, I scramble and I don't make the best choices, and I'm too lazy to cook in the middle of the day. So it's always nice to just have it done. I'm going to try to make that a priority this month. Next here is spiritual and personal growth. I've got doing my Club Moxie work, affirmations, gratitude on the monthly spread, and then yoga and meditation. I just combined them because it really just depends on feeling and mood, which one or both I want to do in any particular day. I want them to stay on the goal setting. They do feel like pretty set in stone, but I want them to be a priority, so I stick them on here. And then we have quite a few on this financial section this month. We have no spend, which is the typical thing, and it says make HelloFresh work within grocery budget. So like if I am prepping my lunches with a HelloFresh kit meal, that makes it so I don't have to buy lunch supplies for me necessarily. I can cut back on dinner recipes and things, ingredients for that, because the HelloFresh is here. Also, sometimes they have like really good deals on other snacks or lunches or side dishes type of thing. So I really have to plan my grocery budgets around this. We have not done a formal grocery run in, gosh, I think since before I left. So 2.5-ish, 3 weeks. We've just gone and gotten a few like fresh fruits and fresh veggies and things, and just like basic essentials like Stella's milk, like that kind of thing, my protein milk. Not a full-on like grocery run, so I'm gonna really try to make it work together. And then this meal plan around freezer inventory, and again, cannot spell. I don't know why I put a D instead of a D, but I totally did. But I'm planning meals around freezer inventory after the HelloFresh. So it's like HelloFresh meals, that's 3 dinners for us. And then I'll have an extra meal for basically most of the week, and then I'll meal plan around what we have in the freezer and try to stick with that. I'm trying to rotate through what I've got in the freezer. And then a big financial thing is see if a vacation is, one, if it's feasible because everything has gone up in price, if it's feasible in the sense that we can have all of our family take off at the same time, like planning the schedule, and also feasible making sure we can rent a crib for Stella because she's still in a crib and things like that. So we're gonna talk about that this month and work it out, hopefully, to where we can do it. And then the last section here is physical environment. And this is just all home stuff. So I've got a few things that are kind of going together. The one workout thing we're trying to do is get the accent wall done. And we will move on to the next step, which is putting down the flooring and ordering everything if that one gets done this month. But it is a lot of cutting, measuring, that type of thing. And I don't know like what weekends we're gonna have available to dedicate to that because softball season has started, dance competition season is underway, and our weekends have been tight. So that's gonna be like, it will take us a while for that one. And then the rest of them kind of go together. We're gonna be doing a bit of a spring declutter. We've already gone through toys, all of kids' clothes, but we've got tons and tons of art supplies. And we also need to go through our master closet and get it nice and organized now. So we've got containers for art cabinet. I've got to measure and get exact ones that it can stack in our cabinet. And then also same thing with our closet. Measure the different shelves and get containers that fit in each section. And that is it. So it's a lot. It feels like a lot like looking at it, but a lot of the things really just carried over and they're ongoing type of goals. So a lot of the arrows are mostly just carrying over things. There's a couple of new things in the mix, but overall it's just trying to hold steady and do what I already have been mostly doing and just tweaking it a little bit and incorporating in a little bit more. So I feel really comfortable with this one, and it's a lot less, I feel like, than last month. I feel like we had a a lot bigger things. I feel like the biggest thing on here is like trying to plan a vacation and the accent wall. Everything else feels pretty manageable to me. And I love that I put crocheting on here. Now it's a priority on the little monthly spread. So anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope that it inspires you in some way. And if you are feeling like me, where you got really gung-ho and then got a little bit overwhelmed with it and a little bit burnt out from everything, it's totally cool to take a step back, reassess, reevaluate, start over. I'm starting fresh this month and just tweaking things as needed. If I did nothing else on this list, like the day-to-day stuff, the waking up and working out are number one. If I did something else on the list, it's my video stuff. And I feel like a lot of this is habit, and this is a lot of funness for me too. And I really, really enjoy having it separated out like this. And then I can move in to my next weekly pages, which this is actually this week, and I can write it out and get it ready to go. So I hope you guys like this look. Like I said, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.